Hello everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Amber Reads Romance. Today I'm hopefully going to be doing just a quick video. I wanted to kind of go over the books that I really want to read, or like my major priority books for 2024. I previously did the New Year book tag, which I kind of went over my goals, but this I'm just zeroing in on like the books that I need to make a priority. I need to read them this year. Series I need to finish because I am super bad at finishing series. I jump around between series all the time, and so I'm never catching up. So these are just some of my goals for the books and my big passion books that I want to get to for 2024. Okay, so number one on my list is basically I need to read Manacled. I know we've all heard so much. We've all heard the hype about Manacled. I have wanted to read it for a couple years now, and I just have been like overwhelmed by the size of how long it's going to take me to read it when I need to read this many books a month. And that's kind of the thing that I brought up kind of in my goals, was that I need to stop pressuring myself about how many books I read a month, because then I'm staying away from like super thick books. Now, again, Manacled is a beast-sized book. And if you aren't aware, I'm sure you are, but if you aren't aware, it's a Draco and Hermione fanfic that has just blown everybody away. It's super dark, and I love dark romance. It's like Handmaid's Tale mixed with Harry Potter, with like, what if they lost the war and, you know, people that you love are like dead in this book, you know, and Hermione's basically going through hell with Draco. And it just, honestly, I know it sounds bad, but it sounds like the perfect book for me. So my goal is to finally read it. I've really loved reading some fanfic in the like last 2 years, from when Jen from the Book Refuge has done the fanfic readathon. And that's kind of how I've discovered it. And I've only read Draco and Hermione, so I'm hoping to discover some other pairings too this year. I want to try the Ginny and Lucius book that Jen has brought up. There's quite a few different pairings that I want to try. But my big goal is Manacled. I know it is available on Spotify to listen to it. I don't know if they have the full book done yet, because they were going slowly through it. But that is going to be one of my big things. Like, I need to do that this year. So hopefully I will get that done. It's a must. The other thing is that Jen is also doing the Outlander read-along, and I'm super excited about that. I have read, I think, 3 or 4 of the books. I can't remember where I left off, and I just kind of gave up because, you know, they are so thick and intensive, and there's a lot going on in those books, and, you know, again, like, they're thicker books, so I kind of put them off. So I want to reread the ones that I read, and then also read the rest of the series. My big goal is to start annotating. I've never annotated a book before. So I just recently bought the first 4 books of the Outlander series and then some annotation stuff. And so I am going to try and do Outlander annotations. I don't know if I'll do it for every book, but I'm going to try at least for the first book. It'll be my first time annotating, so it should be interesting to see how I do. But the other big thing that I need to annotate for and that I want to read is the ACOTAR series. So I've read the first 2 books, but I stopped because I honestly listened to them on the graphic audio, and they had it on AnyPlay at the time. And they only had a couple parts, not all 3 parts of the 3rd book done on there. And so I was waiting for that. And I think it might have even gotten taken down. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if it's still available on AnyPlay. But for sure, I want to read that series. I love Rhysand. I loved Court of Mist and Fury. It was like perfection. I loved it. So I'm annoyed at myself that I stopped. And so my goal on that one is to actually buy the series and annotate them as I read them. So that's going to be a big goal for this next year, because those are pretty thick fantasy books. And that's another one of my goals, was to read more fantasy, because I kind of put them off since they were thicker books. So that was another big one. I also want to finish series. So I need to finish Nikki Harris's series. I became part of her Nikki Harris Street team, and I still have the last few books. I think it's 2 books, but I think there's another novella. And her Kids of the District series that I absolutely love. And so I really want to finish that. And then I need to go back to Gianna Darling's MC series. And I need to read Dead Man Walking, because I still haven't read that one. And then her newest release, which is Caution in the Wind. So I really need to get to those. I loved her MC series, so I don't know why I gave up and stopped reading it. Again, bouncing between series is a thing. I also want to go to Anna Pride. I was looking at King of Pride on my list. Sorry. I also want to go to Anna Wong's series. I only read King of Wrath, I believe, was the first one. And I didn't get the arc for the second one. So all of a sudden I just dropped out. And I'm like, okay, am I that butthurt just because I didn't get the arc? Like, I need to read the series. So I want to read King of Pride, King of Greed, and then I think King of Sloth is coming out in 2024. So I really want to read those and catch up on that series. I also really loved C.R. Jane's The Pucking Wrong Number. I absolutely love that book. So I want to continue with that series. And I think she just came out with a Christmas novella too. So like, I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun book. Oh, and also, I need to finish the Off-Campus series. I stopped reading that a while ago. I just reread The Deal and then the second book. So I just need to keep continuing on the Off-Campus, because Elle Kennedy did release like a second generation. And I really want to read that. She just had The Graham Effect, and I believe she has another one coming out in 2024. So I need to catch up on my Off-Campus series. Oh, and another thing I've been doing, but it's been slow going because it is a huge reading order. I have been reading Serena Akeroyd's reading order of her 5 Points Mafia and then her MC series. So I want to finish that this year and finally catch up to where we're at, because she just released like a novella with Lodestar, and I was like really sad that I hadn't caught up, so I didn't even go for it. But I need to finish Serena Akeroyd's backlist and catch up on those series. Okay, so then some of like the just books that I really want to read that are on my radar. I want to read Forever Your Rogue. One of my goals this year is to read more historical romance, and I saw that this is like really blowing up with a lot of booktubers and they loved it. So I really want to read Forever Your Rogue. I also want to get to, this is also in the series, but The Maddest Oblivion. Like, I only read the first book in that Mafia series. And so I want to get back to that and finish that out. And then I also want to read Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone, and then the novella obviously first, because I think the other one's coming out soon. I'm not positive. And then I need to read The Lovely Return by Carrie Ann Cole. This has had so much like interest and crazy stuff going on. Like, I'm scared because I guess somebody told me that it is like being blown up on TikTok, and I don't want to get spoiled for it. So I definitely need to read it. And it's been the first release for her in a really long time. And then let's see here. I have heard a lot about the Torment duet by Dylan Page. I heard it's really dark, but really emotional. I know Kindled After Dark on Instagram, I remember her reading it and just like bawling her eyes out. And I was like, I have to read this book after seeing her reaction. So I really want to pick that up this year. And then I am also wanting to read more of Rena Kent's, because I want to read her current series so bad, but I want to finish her reading order. So I've been slowly doing that part of this year, but I need to really buckle down because I need to catch up to her current books. But there are a lot, so who knows if I'll ever do it. I might just cave and start reading the newer series, but my goal is to read her reading order and get there for Rena Kent, because I'm really enjoying her older books too. Oh, then I want to read Tal Bauer. I saw Jen from the Book Refuge reading him this year. I discovered my love of male romance this year. And so I really want to read more of his books, more of his male romances. They seem like they're actually really like moving and emotional kind of romances too. I actually picked Jen's 6-star Tal Bauer book for, I think it's You and I, or You and Me. Sorry. I picked that one because I'm on her Patreon, and I picked that for her to annotate. So I'm excited for that to come, so then I can read that one and I can see Jen's thoughts. And then I also want to read the Anti-Heroes Duet by Gianna Darling. I'm not going to go to like the affair and everything. I know you could read that before that, but I just don't know if I'll really like the affair. I might try it first. But, like, I don't know if I really want to read about them cheating and all that kind of stuff. And then the character that they, like, he cheated on is the main heroine from this book. So, I don't know. Might do it, might not. But I do need to read that. I actually bought the duet, so I need to read it. Oh, I also need to read A Love Letter to Whiskey. Because, I mean, this is one of the most hyped books. It's an angsty book. And I still haven't read it. So I really need to get to that and finally read that. And I think I'm going to be doing that with a vlog. But I definitely need to pick that book up. And then Worth the Fall was a book that Jen from the Book Refuge really loved this year. I don't think you can buy it though. So I think it's only available like e-format, like, to get an ebook. So I definitely want to pick that one up because it's like, I realized I love a man who like takes care of another woman or a pregnant woman and her babies and stuff. And I think that's what this guy does. So I've discovered that's a trope thing that I love. So I'm going for it. Then I've heard a lot about Maestro. It was some people's like favorite book, and I've heard a lot of hype around it this year. So I definitely want to check that out. I think somebody, that I follow on Instagram, actually picked that out as like their favorite couple of the year. And then I'm doing the 12 Recs from 12 Friends. So I'm definitely excited to try that this year. I'm basically going to try to stick to doing the one book from 12 Recs from 12 Friends, like once a month, and see how that goes. I'm super excited to try some different authors, some books I probably wouldn't have picked up on my own. And so that should be a fun little challenge. And then since I do want to read more historical romance, and I just discovered Stacey Reid this year, I want to go into her backlist and read a lot more Stacey Reid because I'm absolutely loving her historical romance. And also go back and do some rereads of Lorraine Heath and read some of her releases because I'm way behind on Lorraine Heath and I think she's a phenomenal author. So she writes a little bit more gritty, darker kind of historical romance, which I like. So I think those are like the main things that I really want to get to this year. I know some of those goals are going to be big honker ones like the ACOTAR series and Outlander and like annotating. The one book that I'm looking forward to the most in 2024 is Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. I discovered my love of this author. I read the Boys of Tommen series at the end of this year, and it blew me away. They're the best books of the year for me. And I can't wait for Gypsy's romance. And I just think it's going to be phenomenal. So that's like what I'm most hyped for. Let me know what you're most hyped for in 2024. If you are excited about a new release, maybe I'm not aware of it yet. Let me know in the comments down below. And hopefully you'll be joining for the Outlander readathon or read along because that's going to be so much fun. I am excited to finally read ACOTAR and try annotating for the first time. If you guys have any tips, let me know because I'm a newbie here. Thank you so much for watching this. I will try to get all my end of the year content up, but it's been a tough time with all my dental work that I'm getting done right now. So just bear with me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.